Good evening, everybody, and welcome to a live stream. It's the first Friday evening live stream we've done for quite a while. So I do apologize in advance if I'm a little bit rusty in terms of keeping the flow of these things going. It's been quite a while, but I thought I would pop on this evening to share quite a momentous occasion, as you can see from the title. It's actually we've actually had M.O.T passes on not only my Honda CRV but Beck's Honda Jazz as well, which is a newer model, 2004. So go into the chat and say a few hellos, and we'll see how it goes. We've got BCP in as well, who says Mr. Sadie was in first. We've got Rich by name, not by nature. Peter Ray, Skillet. Bad Biscuit Lex says, "Oh, what no Beck?" Yeah, Beck, if I'm honest, is likely to appear when and if she feels like it. I think she's quite happy at the moment. In terms of YouTube, she enjoys doing like her kind of craft stuff, etc. So if you do want to see more of Beck, then you would have to actually find her YouTube channel, which is just called Rubik's81, I think, and you can go and check her out and see if she's put any videos out there, which she also hasn't done yet. She's going to be putting some. She has put some out. She's put one out recently, but she's got to do more. But she's at the moment, I think that's where her enjoyment is. So she may now and then pop onto this channel and say hi. But when it comes to live streams and stuff, unfortunately, you're going to be kind of stuck with me, which I know is not ideal. I appreciate that. I can appreciate that, as some people put it. But yeah, Beck is kind of doing her thing, you know. No chinwag number. Yeah, I can't really call it a chinwag. BCP. Thank you for popping in. Sorry, Pleasant Valley. Will. Yeah, no chinwag number, just because it's not really a chinwag. You know, it's just me popping on. I'm gonna try to do these a bit more like regularly, but you know, I just thought I'd pop on because it's a momentous occasion. My 2002 Honda CRV and Rebecca's 2004 Honda Jazz both have passed the MOTs with flying colours. Mine's on like 156,000 miles. Beck's car's on about 80,000 miles. We're doing really, really well, really. So we're happy about that. So I thought I'd just pop on and share my happiness. Jen's Multiverse, thank you for popping in. Tracy, thank you for popping in, Tracy. Hope you're healing well. Hope the stitches came out okay in your gums. Yeah, I mean, that's all gruesome stuff, isn't it? I hope that all works well. Silver Manny as well. Skillet says, smash the thumbs up. Oh, thank you. I hear she's nearly at 500 subs. That's correct, Lex. She's nearly at 500 subs, so definitely check out her channel. And there you go. Oh wow, Tracy has just shared it. Thank you, Tracy, for sharing it. Yeah, Beck is she's enjoying her knitting and crafting. So you know, I'm sure she will make appearances, but it's kind of, I think she's quite happy with the way things are at the minute. So yeah, it's just going to be mostly me. Now, the reason why I'm feeling so excited about our cars passing the MOTs though is because we've recently started to use the car a lot more. In the past, mostly we only ever used the car for, when it comes to work purposes, it was just to go to like car boots or doing the odd pickup. So if we had like a pickup deal, you know, say we drove down, I remember, to Croydon to pick up the whole lot of radio control stuff back in the day. Obviously, if you have any Facebook Marketplace pickups, etc., auction houses, and then obviously we did like a lot of car booting in it. And that's been fine, but the car has become that much more important now, and the reason is because obviously we're starting to do these toy fairs. We drove down, we've recently done the Bolton Toy Fair, which wasn't that far from us. We recently drove to Doncaster, which is about a 2-hour drive from us, and that turned out to be cancelled. So that was a bit of a shame, but that happened. Then last week I drove down to Sandown, so that was like a 4 and a bit hour drive. And you know, this week we haven't got any car boots going on. Sorry, any toy fairs going on, but we're going to be selling at the Bolton car boot to shift some old stuff. So if you're around the Bolton area, you can always pop in. And then next week we're going to be Beck and I are going to be doing the Stafford Toy Fair, which is again a couple of hours drive, I think. So we're going to be using the car a lot more, and we're already booked in for toy fairs further down the line. Like I'm actually booked in for the next Sandown, which is in May, and the week after the Stafford Toy Fair, we're going to be doing hopefully, if we can get a table, we're going to be doing the Birmingham Toy Fair as well. So we're going to be like doing. Going to be getting on with that, and that's going to add a lot of, we need the car for these things, and we need it to be functional, especially my car, because that's the one that's got the bigger boot space. And obviously, if we're taking stock, it's and doing, we're really counting on these toy fairs, then we really do need the car to be working. Ideally, we'd have a more reliable car, but to be honest, I can't fault the reliability of our car. Our car is super reliable. It's just old, that's all. Yeah, I'd like a new comfy car, but hey, this will do. This will do. So that's why we're kind of like, it's a big deal. And going forward, I can see us just doing these fairs. Like I said, they're going to just be part of what we do now, because it just adds a bit more comfort and a bit more gives us a bit of stability when it comes to our turnover. So we're not expecting too much from either eBay or the shop or the website. So this way, it's kind of just gives a bit of that for us. So that's the idea, and that's why it's such a big deal that the car is, MOT'd and in top form. So it's been a massive relief for that. We'll go back into the chat as well. People, if you've got any comments and stuff, please feel free. So thanks for sharing the Rebecca's YouTube channel, Tracy. Feeling good, Z. Thanks. Yeah, I hope that all heals up good for you. And Pleasant Valley says, hope Bex puts up some videos. Oh, she will. She's, like I said, she did recently do one, and she's going to be doing more projects. She's got quite a few knitting projects on the go. BCP says, I was making a cup of tea. Okay, oh, nice. Yeah, I think I'll have a cup of tea later, and I'll have it, or I'm going to have it with this. This is my chocolate of choice at the moment. Reese's Nutrageous bars, absolutely delicious. So definitely, I'm going to be having that with a nice cup of tea later, I think. And what else? Question: could we maybe have a graph in lieu of Beck? You know what? Graphs. If we can figure out some kind of graphage. I will bring back some kind of graphage, but I want it to be an interesting graph, so I'll work on that for you, Lex. I will definitely have some kind of graph. It's not going to be like necessarily sales, but still, it's still going to be, something. We'll do something. What if you get injured live on air, like pull a muscle, Beck's come back? Skillet, she's literally just watching GTA RP right now, I think. She would be in here. Well, I don't know, actually. She might just start watching it and laughing. If you remember, when I actually cramped, I had a cramp on live stream. If you saw this, she kind of just laughed. I don't remember her being like super helpful. I don't remember her going, oh, let's just, do this or stretch. She wasn't stretching my leg or helping or anything. She was just literally just laughing at me. So I'm not actually sure she's particularly helpful with that. She just laughs at stuff like that. Hey, Richard Night's Life, thank you for popping in. Have you had the car service, says Rich by name. You know what? Before we took the car to, we went to Sandown. Before we did the Sandown Toy Fair, which is like 4-hour drive, I did take the car into the garage, and my lovely mechanic Todd. Wow, thank you for the super chat.
Do you sell any pre-owned in shop? Comic books.
Hey Robbie, thank you for the $2 super chat. We do sell pre-owned product, but we don't sell comic books. Our shop is far too tiny to do comic books, but we do sell pre-owned toys and stuff, and we have those. But thank you for the $2 super chat. And how you doing? How's your mother? I'd be interested to know. But yeah, so we did actually take it because I had this massive drive down to Sandown, which is, like I said, like a 4-hour trip, right? And I'm not the best. I'll hold my hands up. I'm not the best at, like, I'm just not the best at keeping track of the car's maintenance. And when I took it to my mechanic, Todd, bless him, I don't like saying my mechanic, like I'm some. When I took him to the garage, our local garage that we love very much, right? Shout out to LBT Motors in Garstang. Amazing. They're the best. A husband and wife team, like a family business, and they've got they obviously have people working there as well. But Todd, the guy, he's just a legend, right? And he apparently put more than a liter of engine oil in. So I was lucky that I did take it. So he gave it a quick little service for me before I took the drive down to the Sandown racecourse. And the thing is, you know what? I've got to admit, I don't think I deserve my CRV. I think that car is like, I think it must be the best CRV that Honda ever built, because the amount of times I've let it run low on engine oil like that. I mean, he put a liter of engine oil in, a liter that he had to top it up to get it the dipstick, to do its thing. This car has just run like without missing a beat, and I kind of love it for that. No, so I didn't change the oil, Will, but yeah. Hey, Yorkshire Mix. And T-Cake says, well done, 20-year-old M.O.T pass is a big one. T-Cake's exactly. And Rebecca's one went through today as well. So yesterday was mine, and today was Rebecca's. Rebecca's is a new model, though, 2004. So her car's only 18 years old. But yeah, mine's like, straight up. Yeah, very, very happy about that. It's been great for us. So, hey, MD Picker, thank you for popping in. But yeah, a liter of engine oil. So I'm glad that I took it. Ooft Graphage, says Lex. Lex, I'd rather see pea-stained pants. Hey, come on. I'll come up with some interest. I don't know what kind of graphs. Maybe like graphs of like my latest action figures or something. I don't know. We'll figure something out. Hey, Antoinette, thank you for popping in. So, really thrilled that those have gone through. And a lot more organizing has to happen now as well. Like, I have to make sure that we've got, we'll talk about a few things. We'll talk about the changes. Like, like I said, it's a celebration stream first and foremost for the Honda. But I did say we'll talk a little bit about reselling and stuff. And like I said, like the biggest change for us is these fairs, and it does require a lot more organization. So we have to do a lot more kind of sorting and keeping stock ready and separate for all that kind of stuff. So yeah, we need to be working on that, and that's something I'll touch on a bit later, hopefully. But if you've got any more comments and questions, obviously please go for it. I'll be honest with you guys, I am feeling like a little bit, whoa, live stream. When you don't do these for a while, it's so easy to lose your kind of, confidence with them. I feel a bit like, oh my goodness, but hopefully we'll kind of just flounder our way through this. That's the plan. And I really do appreciate all you lovely people actually joining in with this. It means an awful lot, because it would be 10 times more difficult without you guys actually chatting and, making me feel nice. Right. Take a long story short. Evening, Bobby, says T Cakes. Thanks for popping in, definitely. And MD Picker, Yorkshire Mix. Pleasant Valley says that's the best part of lives. Beck laughing at Z. Yeah, but when I'm cramping, then it's not ideal, because it can be quite painful. I like the way you say dipstick. Well, I mean, Jen's Multiverse, I don't know how else to say it. A liter isn't much, says Rob. Really? Okay. Well, then that's even better. Then the VTech system is working really well. I thought it was fantastic. I'm just thrilled that it's such a relief. Honestly, we were both very worried, because obviously our cars are getting old, and it is a worry, especially now we've committed to this, because some of the tape, like some of the toy fairs, NEC Toy Fair and Sandown Toy Fair actually demand that you pay for your table up front. So we've already paid our £60 for the table at Sandown in May up front already. So obviously it would be a bummer if we paid for it and then we couldn't go because our car was not up to par. That would be distraught. I'd be distraught, absolutely distraught. Z's Garage of Choice, LBT Motors Gas Tank, BCP sharing LBT Motors Facebook. Honestly, they are fantastic. What a lovely business. I really love them. How's been sales, both eBay and shop, says Skillet? Good question. You know what? This is kind of important. I think you've got to have perspective. I was feeling pretty rough about eBay recently. I was thinking, Like, oh my god, like why on earth, why is it so bad? I can't ever remember it being this bad. And I mean, I have heard Jim Rohn talk about this when he in his speeches and things. If ever anyone's watched any of his stuff, but it's really important to remember things or see things as they are, not better than they are and not worse than they are. Now, my initial thought, if you would just ask me how are eBay sales, I would say they're atrocious, they're terrible, blah 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 blah. But the truth of the matter is, like, I actually went and looked at our figures, right? And not just for eBay, but like, you can do this for any business, whether you're on Etsy, Vinted, on your shop or whatever. And when it comes to eBay, because obviously a lot of people do eBay as well as other stuff, right? When it comes to eBay, sales are not actually, my sales actually this February, for example, is is 13% up. As bad as it was, it's 13% up over what I was doing last year. And that was in lockdown, wasn't it? February 2021. 1st of Feb to the 28th of Feb. My sales are actually 13.3% up over that point last year. And they were up on 2020 as well. So, even though they're been a big drop, it's been a big drop because I looked at our figures and I was like, okay, wait a second, I'm working myself into a real state here. I'm stressing out, and Beck's getting stressed as well. We're like, oh, what's happening with eBay? What are we doing wrong? And you start comparing and you start thinking, actually, every business has its like ebbs and flows, its strong periods and quiet periods, right? And you know what? Our last strong month on eBay was actually November, guys. It was November when we actually had a good month. Then December, January, February have actually been pretty on a level. Now that level is about half of what we did in November, and that's obviously going to happen, but it's been steady, and these are traditionally quiet times. Now, if you want proof that it's like that, like, luckily we've been on eBay for quite a few years now, so we luckily have we've got sales figures that we can look back for like the past 6 years, and you start doing that, and eBay is now making it quite easy for you to compare against previous years. I'm not sure how far back you can go, but like, I don't know, I might just even just try this. Let's just see if I can go to 2018 maybe, or no, let's go to 2017, see if it lets me go to 2017. If it does, that'll be freaking amazing. I don't know if it will or not. And it does. Now, okay, definitely didn't do as well. We did better in 2017, actually. Sorry, 2018 it was. It goes back to 2018. Now, wow, we did a lot better in 2018, but that may have been down to the RC parts we got at that time or something. But it's really important to not just let your emotions take over, which is, I think, what we did, because I felt so much better today just by doing a tiny bit of looking at the actual numbers. So it's really important to do that, I feel, and I kind of think that when you do stuff like that, it just puts things in perspective. You're going to have quiet periods. Every business is going to have ups and downs. So, for example, with the shop, let's move on to the shop. We learn that with the shop, that we are definitely a tourist area. We learned this last year when we noticed that we had this strong patch of sales all through the summer, all the way up to Halloween. And then just as we thought we were then going to start to see a boost, because obviously we did quite well, and we're like, wow, this is really great. And we've not even hit peak period yet. We're a toy and collectible store. It's going to be Christmas. People are going to be coming in and spending loads of money, and we're going to be even better than we were in the summer. And it was a bit of a reality check because our sales actually plateaued. We did okay, but it certainly didn't do as well as we were doing at the peak. Our best month in the shop, I believe, was actually July or August, guys. Our best month in sales, and that it peaked in that summer period. And you quickly learn that we've got a lot of caravan parks, and we get a lot of tourists staying from other areas. So people drive up and holiday from like Liverpool, Manchester, up north in Scotland, etc. They all come down, they stay in caravan parks, visit family, and then they just walk around, and they're happy and they're buzzing. The sun's out and they're spending. The locals don't spend as much, I guess, or obviously it's a small village, so it's not going to bring in that amount. The footfall isn't normally huge. So now obviously right now we're in a bit of a strange situation because this time last year we were in lockdown, so we've got no figures to compare really in the shop for January, February, March. We opened on the 12th. We reopened on the 12th of April. So we're going to have figures to compare from then. That will be really interesting. But I'm very confident that we've already started seeing like trickles of it when some caravan parks have started to open up in the local area. People are moving, are visiting their caravan park caravans again, and they're popping in and they're shopping. So you learn these things, and it's important to keep these things in mind because otherwise your mind just runs away and suddenly you start making mountains out of molehills. So it's just the way it is, I think. Let's see what people are saying in the chat. Wow. Okay. Babs has popped in. Thanks for popping in, Babs. But thanks for the question, Skillet. Hope I answered it somewhat. Michelle Lathan's in there as well. When I was young, the people with cars would service them before they went from Stoke to Ryle for their yearly holiday. You know what? It's so important to service your car. And I read some kind of a statistic somewhere that most breakdowns on motorways and stuff tend to be tire related. So it's really important to make sure your tires are in good nick when you're doing a big journey. Because the amount of times you see people broken down because they've got a flat tire or a burst tire on the side of the motorway, that's definitely something you kind of want to avoid. And that's such an easy thing to avoid. Brum Resources, congratulations. Thank you, John. Really do appreciate it. Yeah, it's big news. It's just absolutely chuffed. You know what? I might even clean the car again. There we go. Flounder through it. Sounds like my life the past year, says Pleasant Valley. Sometimes you've got to flounder. And Peter Ray says, good, thanks Kathy, after a crap out. I hope you didn't have too bad a day, Peter Ray. Got out 2 cars to do in 2 weeks. Big waits at the moment. Loads of secondhand cars hanging around from the C word. Oh, okay. Got out 2 cars to do in 2 weeks. Oh, okay. And what else are people saying? Mandy says loves Jim. Yeah, Jim was amazing. He was amazing. Jim Rohn's. I always I can always go back to something he said because it applies to so much stuff. Quietest month as far back as I can remember last month. Still happy with it, to be honest, looking at the big picture. That's just it. It's so easy to just knock stuff. Like, of course my sales are going to be down compared to what they were a couple months ago. It just does. Hey, what were you thinking? Like, it frustrates me when I don't... I often do this. I don't always I should look at the numbers more. I know that sounds really terrible, but it's still really important because it's just, yeah. My profit is actually up thanks to a few neat business decisions, says Mandy. That's the other thing. Yeah, exactly. It's amazing if you can actually get your profit to go up. At the end of the day, that's the key thing. I mean, I think Chris from Cooking the Haydens was talking about this, that he's not sure he's going to reach the turnover he had last year. However, he feels his profit might actually be up, and these are the things that matter really. Can't really grumble, had a lot on in other areas. That's it. Hey, Tap Peddler Derek says, hi, will this stream contain cramps? Hopefully not. I'm not planning on cramping, and so just to let you know. BCB says, my 26-year-old van passed its M.O.T last month. See, I'm not the only one with an old vehicle, man. That's awesome. BCP's got a 26-year-old van. That's pretty cool. I mean, you know what? I'm happy to keep my car for as long as it runs. I need to just make sure I look after it. Blue Harvest Toys, thanks for popping in. Appreciate it. Cola Flipper says, my eBay has picked up. February sales were the same as December and January combined. Not good, just back to normal. December and January die for me. Also hit my listing target for the first time in months. Coincidence? Yeah, that's the thing. I think I feel like, I just feel it's important to I just think it's important to just have the figures in front of you, and because when you don't have the figures in front of you, you might start chopping and changing too much stuff. And I don't think you always need to be doing massive changes to things when it comes to your eBay store. I think sometimes if you are going to change stuff, and not just your eBay store, whatever you're doing, whenever you do massive changes, I think you might not know what part of your change fixed the problem. Like this is something that's really like important as well, like especially when it comes to, for example, making coffee. It's one of the things they always talk about. Like when you're trying to get a good shot of coffee, you don't want to change too many parameters. You want to change one at a time, change one thing and then pull a shot, because if you change too much stuff at once, you don't know, if you do end up with the god shot, you don't know like what change you made previously that has accounted for that result. And I think the same goes for when you're doing your eBay stuff or your business of any kind, whatever it is. You've got to allow a chance for like that one change you've made to have some kind of impact or none at all, and then change other stuff. I think that's the way to do it. Otherwise, if you change too many things in one go, you don't know what's actually caused it, and then you can't replicate it, right? And the idea is to obviously be able to replicate the results as much as you can. But thanks for popping in, Lee. Appreciate it. Had my tires rotated as part of the oil change. They also replaced a burnt out headlight bulb for $64 Canadian. Good deal. Sounds it. Unfortunately, they found a cracked alternator belt. I need to get replaced. $125 estimate. Hey, the hills. Cola Flipper says, Z, I'm a big believer in buying decent tyres. They are the only thing sticking you to the road. I'm not willing to risk my family's life to save a few quid in tyres. 100%. I think tyres are definitely the I'm pretty sure there's some statistic that's like the root of a lot of breakdowns on motorways, etc. Yeah, it's no push for me, the hills. Still my CRV, but still it's rocking and I'm loving it. It's yeah, absolutely. We're thrilled. Beck is thrilled as well. I don't know why, but Beck was worried that her car wouldn't pass. I'm like, her car compared to mine is like it's immaculate. So yeah, it's really I wasn't surprised that hers passed. PvP says my car is a 93 Chrysler Concorde. My 29-year-old car still runs like a charm. See, that's awesome. See that you don't need exactly. Look at that. It's a bit of classic cars there. They're built to last and they run beautifully. So as long as you're happy with your car, that's the main thing. Hey Dave Repairs, thanks for popping in. Changing your business model continuously just creates chaos, says Mandy. I mean, the thing is, it does, and I think we've made quite a few changes recently. Like saying what I've just said about changing one thing and then seeing the result. We've made a lot of changes obviously recently. Like even if you just consider from last year, Rebecca leaving her job and then becoming full-time with the business, so obviously that put a pressure on us, and then obviously having the shop and now doing the toy fairs, even doing car boots and things like that. It's so we have changed a lot of things, but those kind of changes I feel are like quite obvious to track the benefit of them, because obviously we'll just look at what results they bring and if they're worth the time and effort we're putting in. So if we do like a years of, but I think what I mean is like when you make these changes, you have to give them a chance to actually impact. So imagine if we'd gone to these two, we've only done 2 toy fairs and we're really positive about them because touch wood and luckily we did well at both of them. But equally, had we gone to these toy fairs and had not done well, now this is where I feel I would like to say I would have still stuck with them for a year to get a year's perspective. But I've got a feeling in my current mindset, I would have probably just thought, oh, it hasn't worked, let me just stop. And that's what I want to work on. I think my initial reaction would have been, I don't know what Beck would have thought about this. This is something I'll find out from her and let you guys know. But like, I think I would like to think that had I gone to these toy fairs and they'd been a complete disaster and it would just cost us money, I would have liked to have thought, I would have still said to myself, we still need to keep doing these for at least this year so we can get a full picture of what they're like. We don't know what they're going to be like, whether they're going to be busier in the summer, whether they're going to be busier at the end of the year. And, you have to visit these more than once to get an idea, right? And I'd like to think that's what I would have done. But I feel like sometimes, especially like in my current mindset, I might have just clammed up. And if they hadn't been good, I would have just been like, No, I'm not going to. But thankfully, they were good. But just because these two have been good doesn't mean that they're going to be good the next time. So I need to really stick with this for like, we need to go to all these fairs for the whole year. We need to visit each fair because they're on like a circuit. So, like we did Bolton, and we're going to be doing Bolton again in April. So in April, we'll be visiting Bolton again. Now, we've already got one Bolton Toy Fair under our belt, so we have an idea of what to expect. Now, will this one outperform it? Will it perform worse? We don't know yet, obviously, because it hasn't happened. But this is how you build data, right? So the more data we build, the better. But we have to stick through it. And the one after that, we don't know what's going to happen. And we're only going to get a picture from it once we've done them a few times, and then we can make a judgment. So you're 100% right, Mandy. It just does create chaos. The Hills says, "Where's Beck?" I have not been. Beck is in the other room, probably watching GTA RP on Twitch. She's a massive fan of that. So I've mentioned it earlier. Like, she will be making appearances on this channel when she feels like it. But it's not a current. I think she enjoys her craft side of YouTube. I think she's enjoying doing like creating videos about her crafting and knitting and crocheting and stuff. I think so. Just so you guys are aware. So it kind of stuck with me, which may not be everyone's cup of tea, but there we go. Let's see what people are saying. Yes, exactly. Z cars back then were built better. Concorde was fairly high-end car back then. Well, the Chrysler Concorde, yep, makes sense. Yeah, I do feel that there's obviously been build quality. Build quality has obviously been a massive thing in the past, hasn't it? I still think things are built nicely nowadays. Probably not as nicely as like they were, perhaps, but I think it just comes down to our perception. Again, it's perception. I'm sure people are going to be buying cars today that they're going to be able to run for many years to come. Just like we've got cars the same way. Slow, as in slow and steady wins the race, says Mandy. Yeah, I feel yeah, that it is so cliched but so true. You can't force these things, can you? I don't think you can just force this stuff to happen. So yeah, it's like, I mean, for example, we've all tried this, like sourcing stock on Facebook Marketplace. We've all had, I think a lot of us have done it. We've all had good experiences on there. We've had bad experiences on there. Do you let the bad experiences put you off the good experiences? Of course not. Like, for example, this week I was ghosted. I'm sure this has happened to loads of you guys before as well, but like, you find a cool listing and you're like, wow, this stuff looks good. You message someone and then all of a sudden they either take it down and they just ignore your message, or they mark, they instantly take it down because either it's already sold or whatever, whatever the reason is. I actually had someone post a number of different items up, and it seemed like these items were for sale, but then as soon as I messaged them about these items, no matter what the item was, then they suddenly became unavailable to me. And I'm guessing I might have either just missed out, or for whatever reason they just did not want to sell the items to me. But just because that happened, it's not going to put me off looking on Facebook Marketplace just because I've had an iffy experience. You kind of just have to do that. Nice Life saying hi to people. Thanks for sharing the link, BCP. Mandy says, "Hey, Rich, be thinking of you tomorrow." Oh, okay. I hope everything's okay, Rich. Here in Canada, some cars built the past few decades have had massive recalls. Well, technically, our cars got it's not a massive recall, but there is a recall to fix an airbag. And funnily enough, talking of recalls, check this out. My Fitbit Ionic. Oh, look how many steps I've done today, by the way. Look at that. Not 10,000 steps so far. Oh, Rich, been thinking of you today. Oh, hope everything is okay, Rich. I've not. But yeah, this watch has had a recall as well. So Fitbit are actually giving refunds. I think $300 refunds for Fitbit Ionic watches. So I don't know if you guys know about this, but I just got this email saying that I can actually get a $300 refund. I don't know how that works, but apparently in some of these, the battery is meant to get really hot and then it burns your wrist. Um, Nice Life says, the funeral was today, Mandy, but thank you for thinking of me. Oh, a funeral. Never nice to have to go to a funeral, Rich. So, yeah, I thought so with you. Hope you got through it okay. Wow, yeah, it's never nice to have to go to one of those, is it really? Um, Ian J Vintage says evening all as well. Thank you for popping in, Ian. But yeah, so I don't know if there's a reselling opportunity in that. Does that mean that you can buy Fitbit Ionics for cheap and then get them returned for like send them to Fitbit for money? Is that going to be a thing? Because I know something similar happened with iPods, didn't it? iPod Nanos. I'm sure like iPod Nanos had some kind of a recall as well, and people were selling and buying. There was a stage where you could send back certain iPods, and they would send you a fourth generation iPod Nano brand new. I actually did that where I bought like a broken iPod from a car boot once for like £1, and it was a iPod Nano second gen, I think. And I think you were able to send that to Apple, and then Apple sent you a fourth gen Nano as a replacement. So I don't know whether the same thing's going to happen with that, but you might want to keep an eye out on that. Who knows? But I'm hopefully going to be sending this back. It's a Fitbit Ionic, so they're having a recall on that. So worth checking that out because they contacted me today, like I said, via email saying, "Hey, your watch is part of a recall." I mean, it's for a good reason. You don't really want to have a burnt wrist or an exploding battery, so just something to think about. All right, let's see what people are saying. I subbed to Beck's channel ages ago. Hope she starts her stitching fish streams again. Pleasant Valley says, it was my two daughters' mum. Okay, so heart wrenching. Been a blubbering mess today. Oh gosh, yeah, that's never nice. Wow, you've had a good rough few months, haven't you, Rich? There's no really other way to kind of like to put it. Really, you've just had a rough few months. So yeah, condolences, and I hope you you will pull through it. And Cola Flipper says, well done on the steps. Since working from home pandemic, I hardly get out of my seat all day. I've put on 6 kg since lockdown once started. Back to the office once a week now, so joining a gym again. Only 6 kg. Wow. I still need to lose a lot. I have actually lost a little bit of weight, but that was more down to not being able to have solid food after having teeth out. But I'm trying to drink more water in general and just, be a bit more healthy. But steps has never really been too much of an issue for me, Lee. I think my issue has always been out eating whatever exercise I do. But like I said, I've been curbing that by drinking a lot more water. I've really cut down on my fizzy drink, which I think has been a massive, massive change. Like I don't drink it as much now. Like I don't crave it like I used to. Fizzy drink, I think, was a big cause of a lot of my kind of like weight and eating habits. So even though the fizzy drink I was drinking was sugar free, like it's like one bad habit leads on to another. So even though I was drinking like Coke Zero or Pepsi Max, it's what I was craving to eat with the Coke Zero or Pepsi Max that was doing the damage. So even though the Coke itself is sugar free, even though God knows what it's full of, it was accompanied often by chocolates, crisps, and things like that. And it was just, it's one of those things that makes you want to eat. Whereas obviously when you just drink water, like I now keep a water bottle and I just drink out of it, and it's been keeping me just much more, kind of just keeps me more thoughtful. I'm a lot more thoughtful about actually if I'm hungry or not. We just have to keep on and keep smiling, says Rich. And I did meet Peter Sales of the Unexpected today, so that was nice. Oh, okay, cool. Well, that's something, I suppose. But yeah, that's Z issues is food intake. Who ate all the pies? Hey Shazad. Yeah, I it has been like I think it's been my overeating. It's not really my exercise. I've been walking. I walk 10,000 steps quite often. I'm always walking the dog. I walk around a lot, guys. I do move around a lot, but I always out eat whatever it is that I'm actually doing in terms of just my own exercise. So it's something that, yeah, I just, it's a diet issue with me, and I think the fizzy drink was making the diet issue more difficult. And I think since cutting down on the fizzy drink, I felt like I felt really much more in control. And I think it's really important, especially when it comes to being like busier. Like we are, we are going to be busier. So for example, this weekend I'm going to be at Bolton Car Boot. It's our first car boot of the year. I'm going to be doing like hopefully we're going to be doing a bit of selling there. Might even be able to buy some cool stuff if possible, but we've got a bunch of stuff that we want to shift as well, so hopefully we're going to be doing some selling there. Then obviously the other weekends are going to be busy with car boots and toy fairs. So and then obviously just running the shop in between, doing the eBay and everything involved with that. It's getting quite busy at the moment, which is good, but you need to be up for it physically. Like you want to physically be up for it. And then when you hear horrible things like today, for those of you that are into cricket, rest in peace Shane Warne. I mean, like 52, man alive. That's like, that kind of stuff really does make you just, makes you think. I can't have biscuits in the house. If I start the pack, I'll finish it the same day, says Lee. Yeah, I think that's the thing. It's like, it definitely is learning those things about yourself. So for example, I went through a phase of buying chocolate bars in the multi-packs because it's a lot cheaper, isn't it? Like when you buy a chocolate bar in a 3 or 4 pack, it works out significantly less than buying a single bar of chocolate. But like if I bought, for example, a packet of Topics, I will eat all of the Topics. They used to normally come in packs of 3, I think, or 4. I would eat 3 or 4 Topic bars in one day. Like, that's ridiculous. That's going to ruin whatever. You could do all the exercise in the world. If you're going to eat 4 Topic bars, that's going to just destroy any diet you've done. And you have to accept that sometimes your will just isn't that strong at some points, and you shouldn't put yourself in those situations. I mean, it's like when you quit smoking, they'll always recommend don't put yourself in a situation where you're going to be around smokers, etc. So I feel like you shouldn't put yourself in an unnecessarily difficult situation. So if, for example, if you like having biscuits in the house, if it's tough, then yeah, it's just better to not. Got to go back to the unit now as it has to be empty tonight. Take care. All right, Rich. Thanks for popping in. Shazad, you think he has a pie in his pocket? I don't have any pies in my pocket, Tracy. I'm trying to be good. You should get into badminton. Not that you're going to be any good, but the videos would be amazing to watch. Says Shazad. Oh gosh, no, I'm okay. I'm not really like up for doing that level of activity. The older you get, the more heroes you looked up to pass away, sadly. Yeah, I think that's it. It's kind of really sad. Shane Warne was a legend, man. If anyone that's into cricket will know, Warner was like, he was a beast. I mean, I still remember, like, Mike Gatting looked like he like shit himself, literally. Like he couldn't. It was Mike Gatting, I'm pretty sure, was his first ball. Shane Warne bowled like it was a leg break, and no one had seen a leg break like that. No one had ever seen one. Like the turn on it, and Mike Gatting was like what had happened? Like I never liked Mike Gatting. His face, he just looked like his face always looked like he just smelled a bad fart or something. He deserved it. He got wrecked, man. Shane Warne wrecked him. It was beautiful. I'll never forget that. He wrecked so many batsmen. He was just like the best. He was absolutely the best. So yeah, it's kind of sad to hear about that. The pies are hidden in those luscious locks. There's no pies. You know what? I took a homemade sandwich to work today. I made one for Beck as well. So yeah, trying to be good. The Tap Peddler says, Derek says, yeah, I got in the habit of buying bulk crisps or cakes at the boot sale. How risky is that? Problem is I have zero willpower and squash the lot way too quickly. I don't buy them now. That's just it. That is just it, Derek. It's all, like, it makes sense at the time. It makes sense, like, oh, it's so much cheaper. How can I buy one chocolate bar, like, when, or how can I buy one bag of crisps for like 70p or 80p when I can get this massive sack of crisps for a lot less? Of course you want to buy them. That's like the thrift in us, isn't it? Like, we live our lives being like buying good deals. You never pay retail for stuff. You want to get the best deals. So it's natural that kind of goes through into your food shopping. And when you see those deals at the car boots, you're like, yeah, let's get it. But yeah, it's risky. So yeah, good that you stopped that, Derek, because yeah, we've all been there, haven't we? Just try to avoid junk food. Z, I've cut back on sugar. That's just it. Pleasant Valley, it's so important to do that. It's just so important. I'm trying to be good with that stuff. I still have a sweet tooth. Like I said, I'm going to be eating my Nutrageous. I'm looking forward to this. I mean, if you haven't, this Reese's Nutrageous, there's something about this chocolate bar. It's crunchy peanuts, peanut butter, creamy caramel covered with chocolate flavor coating. Something about this chocolate bar that is, I don't know, man. I mean, I love Snickers bars, and for me, this has become better than a Snickers bar. Still not as good as a Topic. Topic is still my favorite, but the Reese's Nutrageous, I can thoroughly recommend this chocolate bar. If you like peanuts, if you like peanut butter, this is it's just such a good chocolate bar. Z, how about a series of motivational exercise videos? I don't think so, and I could throw in a leg cramp. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Hey, Tommy, thanks for popping in, Tommy. Anyway, we could put on your fighting suit and take the CRV over to the Ukraine. Oh gosh, I bet that's oh gosh, that's making light of it, Tommy. That's making light of it. It's it was it's bad. I don't even know, man. I don't even know what's going on. Finally, I'm not like that with booze though. I like to have a selection of beers and spirits in the house, so I have choices, but I don't feel the need to get smashed. One or two, and I'm happy. Very interesting. Yeah, I think that different things will create different reactions. So it's good that you've got that. Shazad says Shane Warne was a legend. I preferred watching Sakalain Mushtaq he was bad. Of course he was, but he was. You've got to admit, come on, Warner was probably better than Sakalain. He was good. Sakalain was good though. Z likes chocolate nuts in his mouth, I'm hearing. Yes, I do, Tommy. I do. I really do. They're delicious. Just something to bear in mind. I definitely have a weakness for chocolate bars. I do. If you eat the Nutrageous with a fork and a knife, the calories don't count. Is that true, Tracy? Is that true? I don't think so. Oh, you know what? I'm savoring this now. I don't often hold a chocolate bar in my hands for this long, because normally I'm just eating it, it's straight. But I'm actually savoring this. I'm going to enjoy this. Like, look, I'm just handling it and then putting it down. This is amazing. BCP. Yeah, BCP, he's been around. He's been sharing links. You know what? I've not caught Tommy or Tracy live in forever. I feel awful, man. I keep on saying it. You guys probably don't believe me anymore, but it's true. I do feel awful about it. I genuinely do. When are you next live? When are Tommy and Tracy next live? I don't even know. I'm so bad. I'm gonna have a look. Have you actually scheduled anything? Has there been any posts scheduled? Who knows? I'm gonna have a look. I don't know. I can't see. If that's true, Tracy, I'll start eating burgers with a knife and a fork. Oh god, but burgers are another weakness. But yeah, it's burgers. I've gotten quite good with overall. I think since having my teeth out, it's been a blessing in disguise in a way. We haven't been live in forever. Okay, well that's not good. Tracy, I think he also eats the wrapper that we've. I don't eat the wrapper, BCP. Honestly, I'm not that bad. But I do love... Oh, I'm going to enjoy this. Should I have it with milk? Or should I have it with Coke? Or should I have it with tea? Do you know what? I'm fancying it with milk. I used to eat... Who else has eaten chocolate bars with milk? Let me know. Has anyone had that? You haven't missed anything, Z. We are lame. What? You haven't scheduled anything? Oh man, what's going on? I hope you guys are still. Tommy and Tracy are usually ending their live stream as I drive to the boot sale. Occasionally I say hi, but I'm driving so I can't chat. Says that. Oh yeah, this it comes on at like 3 a.m. Derek. Like it's 3 a.m. is their normal start time. But you haven't done one. I thought I was just missing. Man, I hope you sort that out. You eat more like a goose, no chewing involved. Whatever, Shazad. I do chew chocolate bars. Chocolate is nice with tea. It is, but you know what? I'm fancying a cold glass of milk and a Reese's Nutrageous. I think that might be my go-to. Oh, a nice cold glass of milk. I usually see them live as I wake up on Sunday. Can't stand a glass of milk. Really? Milk with chocolate is fantastic. I'm kind of craving it now. That is the thought of a nice cold glass of milk and a nice chocolate bar. And if the chocolate bar is not, it needs to be a bit warmer. Oh, I'm moving house. Z, it's my fault most. Oh, you're moving house. Have you sold your house, Tracy? Wow. Interesting. If you've sold your house, let me know or something. I don't know, but that's quite big news. Moving house. Derek is a real reseller. The cold doesn't stop him. Yeah, the cold doesn't stop many people, though, to be fair. You people, I go out in the cold. You have to go out in the cold. If it's cold, it's cold. Hey, Kevin, thanks for popping in. Are you moving out of Texas? I hear Delaware is the place to be, says Shazad. Chocolate with coffee. Yeah, coffee is always a good thing. I'm thinking Tommy and Z at 3 a.m. while Tracy moves house, says Haggis. You know what? I would. 3 a.m. starts, though. But it's Tommy and Tracy, man. A nice cold glass of milk can be great. Yes, definitely. My house goes on market next week. Oh, wow. That's big news, Tracy. Well, I hope you get it sold quickly. I'm guessing people buy houses fast over there. Saw your nice looking house on Insta Stories, says Dave Repairs. Oh, I'll check that out. Oh, if it's stories, it'll vanish now, right? Talking of stories, social media. Hour and a half away you've moved. So you're still... okay, it's not far. Are you happy with where you've moved? I'm sure you are. I don't know anything about Texas. Walking the dog and going to the pie shop doesn't count, Z. I don't know what you're talking about, Tommy. I go to the car boots in the cold. It was freezing when we went to Sandown in the morning as well. Admittedly, it was an indoor fair, but there were bits where we were outside. But yeah, it's speaking of Instagram though, social media is the other thing that I need to be focusing on. I've actually been pretty good. I've got to say, I've added I'm kind of happy with how consistent I'm being on social media now when it comes to promoting the shop and the website and stuff. So I'm pretty happy with that. That's a habit I've had to learn, and I'm kind of happy. I make sure I do like a daily TikTok video now, and then that gets just pushed lazily to Instagram and Facebook, so I don't have to make separate videos. But every day I'm doing at least one TikTok video, which I'm very happy about. So I think that's really important to do, especially when you're trying to promote yourself or promote your business. So I'm very happy that I've actually managed to stick to that. So I want to add YouTube to that as well. I want to start doing YouTube a bit more consistently, because it's been quite a while since I've done this consistently. But we'll get there. Been getting warmer here lately. Thankfully, winter is almost over. Yeah, we're seeing some more mild days. So yeah, we're seeing mild days. Definitely a bit more milder weather. I think today was like nice and sunny, and it was still chilly, but it was about 9 degrees. I'm seeing my Only Cool Stuff videos with you in it, says Dave. Oh, yeah, we're posting a lot. If some of you may have noticed as well, I've changed the name of this channel to Only Cool Stuff as well, because we're going to be promoting, doing more videos about the shop and stuff. We're going to be doing a lot more. There still will be reselling content though, so I don't want to scare everybody away, but there will be, because obviously we'll be hopefully buying from the car boots, buying from customers, things like that. So yeah, it's going to be still, still will be room for that as well. So it's just something to bear in mind, though, that overall, though, the aim of this channel now is to, make videos about the shop, and just we'll be sharing our journey with the shop now. It's always been about our journey, and currently this is what it is, isn't it? So is that hour and a half further away from Tommy? My colleague's arcade business is mostly sold through TikTok, Insta, Facebook. Honestly, Dave, it's amazing the doing the TikTok and all that stuff. It's been really eye-opening, because, like I said, people do engage a lot more with your Facebook page and stuff, and then it's happening more and more, like, where people are like, oh, like, physically local people are like, oh, I follow you on TikTok, which is very cringy, especially if they're like school kids and stuff, but that's happening more now, which is really interesting as well. It's very important to do it. I still haven't done any paid for stuff. I'm just doing what I can, but we'll see how it goes. Half-hour drive here, Dave, is like a cab ride around the block. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense, Tommy. The thing is, your guys' roads are made for long journeys. Our roads are not made for long journeys. They're windy, and they're like, they're a pain. They're not the same. It's not like, when you guys go on a big road trip and you've got these big straight roads and your cars have all got cruise control. Here, even the motorways are not I mean, okay, but they're not like the big straight roads that you can just put cruise control on. There's too much traffic, basically, is what I'm saying. But I'm sure there's traffic over there as well, in the big cities and stuff. Bottom line, I don't know what I'm talking about. Process independent trading. Thank you for popping in. BCB shared my TikTok. I still remember your videos from your flat down south. You've had quite an interesting journey. Oh, thanks. Well, yeah, and that's just it. It's always been, it sounds like the corniest thing in the world to say, but like today I was changing what the about us is on the channel as well, and it was still what I'd originally written, like, our journey, like starting an eBay thing, and and yeah, it's what it is now, and things change, and they can change again. Who knows what we'll be doing, next year, the year after, where we'll be focusing. But you have to kind of keep up with it. One tip we do on Facebook, says Dave. Yeah, I'm all for tips and tricks for social media, guys. Please let me know any advice you have on that, because it's a minefield. If you go live from Facebook page, you will appear on everyone's mobile. Only cool stuff has gone live, and that is big to get people to watch. Okay, everyone's mobile. Really? So what do you mean, go live from Facebook page? What do you mean, so go live on Facebook? Okay. Which do you prefer, Z, the tick or the talk? You know what, Tommy? I honestly don't understand it. If I'm honest, I still don't understand it. I just know that it makes sense because it seems to bring a lot of interaction. So yeah, it's just, yeah. MD Picker says TikTok is a funny place. A few people on TikTok have found me and gone on to follow me on other platforms. Bought some items too, says MD Picker. Well, that's the thing. Even, like I said, even more than that, MD Picker, we've actually had local people coming up to and going, I follow you on TikTok. Like, actually come into the shop and say, oh, we follow you on TikTok, it's cool. And I'm like, it's very cringy in that moment, but that's worked. It's brought them into the shop. It's made them aware of the business. That is so valuable, right? That is so valuable. So yeah, I need to learn all this stuff. I created a TikTok account for reselling content last week, but haven't uploaded anything as I still don't understand it. I've officially become an old man, says Lee. Honestly, Lee, you don't have to do what you see. Apparently the trending sounds and stuff is all very, like a good way of going viral, but I don't necessarily think that's super helpful. My TikTok account is like a business account, and I just talk about the shop, etc. Just show products or whatever, and you can be a little bit silly, and it's only 15 seconds, a 15-second clip, and then that 15-second clip I can push to Instagram, onto my Instagram post, and push it onto Facebook as well. Have you been sharing much advice to your Padawan? Shazad, it doesn't really talk to me about social media stuff. Lee, I think you should just make drinks each week. Yes, as you're a business, not a personal account, everyone clicks it and goes in the chat on Facebook. Really interesting. I don't know what, like, just go live and be like, hey, I'm live. I've got to have something to talk about, I suppose, haven't I? I suppose if I get like I think if I get a delivery in, maybe I could just go live and like do like what stuff's come into the shop or something like that. That could be something, right? Or if I was at a toy fair, maybe that would be quite cool. Just go live from a toy fair, perhaps. Um, that was cool. You know that there's the toy fair as well. The toy fair itself, toy fairs have turned out to be a really interesting place as well, because since going to them, we've actually had a lot of people reach out to our Facebook and YouTube and stuff by saying, "Hey, I bought this from you," and so that's another great way. That's like old school social media, just networking, really. Um, Something that sounds like a plan. I'm quite enjoying this weekly cocktail making slot on the Saturday Night Live. Go live now. No, I'm not going to go live now. Restream RMTP YouTube and Facebook simultaneously. My Patreons get to see me pole dance to Kesha's song TikTok. Oh, really? Really? I don't think so. I'm guessing that's a troll thing. Yes, we use it for deliveries, and chat says, have you got... Yeah, see, that's just it, Dave Repairs. That's just it. I think that would be quite a cool thing to do, to just do like, oh, this stock's just come in, or do it from a toy fair or something. So just see how it goes. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be looking into that, because there are other businesses that I follow that do like, that have like online stores, and yes, I get their notification when they go live. And I've been watching some people's streams on there just to get an idea of what they do, and they tend to just chat, and it seems pretty casual. It seems very much like just this YouTube kind of chat. So it's something to think about, and it's something I've not done yet. Actually, I've not actually done like a Facebook live or an Instagram live. I've just not done it. I've not done the TikTok live either. So yeah. Not your OnlyFans. What are you talking about, Dave? What are you talking about, Dave? Anyway, guys, it has actually reached 8 o'clock. So I'm going to call it a night. We've been chatting for over an hour. I've managed to chat for like an hour. Wow, that's not too bad. Thank you guys for turning up. I will be back next week at this time. And I will be doing more lives and videos during the week. I will be doing more lives and videos during the week. So thank you guys for popping in and joining into the chat. Really do appreciate it. It's made it a lot more comfortable to get back into doing this. And it would be really good to see. It would be really good to see you guys next week. And I'd like to see Tommy and Tracy go live again as well. So that would be cool. Right, guys. Thanks for watching.